You prayed for it, you dreamed about it, you even fasted for it, and deep in your heart, you really believed this was it. The opportunity, the relationship, the open door, the thing you thought God would finally say yes to. But instead of a yes, everything fell apart, and you were left confused, disappointed, maybe even angry at God. You said, "Lord, I thought this was from you." But sometimes, the things that look like a blessing aren't actually from God. They're tests, disguised as opportunities. Because the truth is, when God says no, he's not trying to break your heart. He's trying to protect it. Remember Jonah? God said, "Go to Nineveh," but Jonah said, "No, I'll go to Tarshish." He wanted what felt right instead of what was right. So God sent a storm that wasn't meant to destroy him, but to stop him from going in the wrong direction. Maybe the storm in your life isn't punishment, it's protection. Maybe that closed door isn't rejection, it's redirection. Maybe the relationship that ended wasn't the devil's attack, it was God's mercy. We often forget that God sees what we can't. He sees conversations you'll never hear. He sees traps you don't notice. He sees the pain that decision will cause 5 years from now. So when he says no, it's not to take something good away, it's to give you something better later. But here's the hard part. We still try to force it. We say, "Lord, maybe I didn't pray enough. Maybe I just need to try harder. Maybe it's just bad timing." And we keep pushing. We try to reopen what God has already closed. We chase people God already told us to release. We beg for blessings God already removed. And in doing so, we end up fighting the very hand that's trying to save us. You see, God's no is not rejection. It's redirection. It's his way of saying, "My child, I know where that road ends, and I love you too much to let you go there." That's why Proverbs 16:9 says, "A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." You might think you're losing something, but what you're really losing is what would have destroyed you later. That job you didn't get? God saw the spiritual compromise behind it. That person who left? God saw how they would have pulled you away from him. That dream that didn't work out? God saw how it would have turned your heart from dependence to pride. Every no from God is an invitation to trust him deeper. Think about this. If God had said yes to every prayer you prayed, would you still be close to him today? Would you still seek his face? Would you still depend on his voice? Sometimes his no keeps you humble. Sometimes it keeps you on your knees. Sometimes it keeps your heart aligned with his will. Because if he gave you everything you wanted, you'd stop needing him. And maybe right now, you're in that silent season where you're asking, "Lord, why aren't you answering?" But maybe he already did, and the answer was no. And that silence you feel, it's not absence. It's protection. It's God saying, "If only you knew what I was saving you from." If you've made it this far in the video, that's not random. God is speaking to you right now. Maybe this is your moment to stop fighting his no and start trusting his plan, because his plan isn't to harm you, it's to prepare you. Type in the comments, "Lord, help me trust your no." Say it out loud. Declare it in faith, because surrender is where peace begins. Don't mistake delay for denial. Don't confuse disappointment with abandonment. Sometimes God closes one door to open 10 others that you haven't even seen yet. You might not understand it now, but one day you'll look back and say, "Thank you, God, for saying no, because if you hadn't, I wouldn't be here." So breathe. Let go of what didn't work. Stop trying to make something happen that God already ended. You don't need to chase what's not part of your calling. You just need to trust the one who writes your story perfectly, because the God who said no today is the same God who will say yes when it's right. And when that moment comes, it'll be worth every tear, every delay, every unanswered prayer. So next time you hear no, don't run, rest. Don't push, pray. Because that no might just be the greatest yes you never saw coming. Like, share, and subscribe to BibleFix, where faith gets real and God's truth fixes the heart.